YouTube, what's good? It's your boy back again with another video. Today, man, we're gonna talk about the pros and cons of being a house flipper versus a wholesaler. But first, before we get into the video, I want to thank everybody for showing support. The following is growing. Y'all liking the videos, the views are up. So if you're watching this video and you're not subscribed yet to the GNC show, do yourself a favor, like the video, hit the notification bell, so that way you get notified when we dropping all this fire content. All right, so let's get into today's topic. All right, so like I said, we're going to get into today's topic. We're going to talk about the pros and cons of being a wholesaler versus a house flipper. Should you be a wholesaler? Should you be a house flipper? What are the pros and cons? What do I recommend? What do I think is better? I'm gonna give my opinion on all that. I'm gonna go into detail also and break down why I feel the way I feel. And I got a list actually that we're gonna go over on the pros of being a wholesaler versus the cons of being a wholesaler. Then we're gonna go over the list of the pros of being a house flipper versus the cons of being a house flipper. All right, so check this out. Before we get into that part, let me just say this. I bump into a lot of people. I get a lot of DMs on Instagram. Check me out, I Trap Houses on Instagram. I get a lot of DMs. Gigi gets a ton of DMs on hers at Gigi Buys Florida. We get people who want to get into, either they want to start out wholesaling, or they want to start out house flipping, or they just want to just get into the real estate business. Let me just say this. You can do anything. You just got to put your mind to it, all right? Nothing is impossible. Like I've been telling y'all from the jump, I started this business from ground zero with nothing. I started out as a realtor 7 years ago, 2015. I worked my way up in the realtor game. I conquered that. Found out about wholesaling. Real estate investors, I seen they was getting the bag, so that's why I transitioned to. When I started out as a wholesaler, let me say this, when I started out as a wholesaler, I started from zero. I had no money, I had no budget. I just started with some hustle. So if you got some hustle, some determination, some willpower, and some discipline, you can make headway in this game, start acquiring wealth, and make a better life for yourself, all right? All right, first let's talk about the house flipping, all right? House flipping is very rewarding. You can do this. I'll just say that it's more riskier. There's a lot more that goes to it. I know y'all see these TV shows and just think, oh, I just buy a house and I just get some material, I put some granite and I flip the house. No, it don't work that way. There's a lot to it. There's gonna be a lot of moving parts, such as contractors, liens, code enforcement, buying material, managing a project. There's a lot to it, all right? So let's go with some pros and cons. Obviously, as a house flipper, you're gonna make much bigger paydays. You think you're just wholesaling to these investors, these cash buyers for nothing? There's a reason why they're buying your deals, because they're making a ton of money. Typically, they're making in a six-figure range, near that, all right? So that's one pro. Y'all gotta excuse my handwriting. Number two is acquire wealth. I don't know if y'all can see that, but basically what I mean by that is you're able to acquire rental properties. You're able to acquire cash flow, passive income, which makes you wealthy in America, all right? Number three, you get to cherry pick. All right, when you're wholesaling, direct to seller, and your house flipping, you cherry pick the good deals. All right, so the ones with a good spread on it, a lot of meat on the bones, we taking those down, and we taking those down, and we buying those properties ourselves. All right, now the cons. I don't know if y'all can understand that, but there are a lot bigger headaches. Okay, coming with house flipping. There's more responsibility. There's money on the line. There's carrying costs. All right, so that's one of the cons of house flipping. Number two, there's longer paydays. All right, we buy a house. It doesn't typically, you don't flip a house within 30 days. Typically, it takes 45 60 days from purchase to sale date. All right, typically about 60 days. All right, and lastly, there's a lot more risk. Like I said, we got carrying costs. We got to upkeep the house, lawn maintenance, utility bills, all that comes with it. All right, you got to, hey, these contractors can screw you over. They can run off with your money. There's a lot more risk, but big risk equals big rewards. All right, now as a wholesaler, let's talk about the pros and cons. Obviously, you get quick paydays as a wholesaler. You can get a house under contract. You can sign that bad boy, have title work done in 14 days. Bam, you're paid. In and out. It's quick paydays. All right. So that's one of the pros that I love when I first started as a wholesaler. I was able to get paid so fast, coming from the traditional world as a realtor, where sometimes it took 30, 45 days to close the deal. Now, don't just think every deal is quick. There are quick paydays, but typically in wholesaling, your deal shouldn't take longer than 3 to 4 weeks max. Now, if there's probate involved, the other stuff, that's a whole nother story, whole nother ball game. All right. Now, pro number 2, you get to work remotely. Obviously, you don't need to be in the field with this. You can work on your couch, in your underwear. You could be on the island. You could be in a whole nother state wholesaling there. So that's one of the pros, that you can work remotely. All right. Another pro, you get to determine your salary, man. Number 3, you can determine how much money you make. So if you just want to hustle and grind hard all year, you want to get 30 deals and make $10K average on each deal and make $300,000 for the year, you can do that. Trust and believe it. You just got to have that hustle, like I said. Let's talk about the cons. There's not a lot of capital in the beginning, meaning you don't have a lot of money. You don't have a budget to market yourself, get deals. It's tough in the beginning, but you got to put in that footwork in the beginning in any field. All right. Number 2, there's tons of dirty work. Tons of dirty work as far as the con is being a wholesaler. So you're on the front line dealing with the seller, dealing with the title company, dealing with the attorney, dealing with the non-cooperative tenants. You're doing all this dirty work and legwork, but this is just part of the gig. All right. And number 3, more importantly, no cash flow. If you're just a straight wholesaler and you're living deal to deal, so you don't have any passive income, versus over here, you acquire wealth, you get rental properties, you get passive income, mailbox money, what they call it. Where here, you got to get out. Basically, you got to go hunt. So that's the con of a wholesaler, is you got to keep cold calling. You got to keep marketing yourself to generate income. All right, so that's one of the cons as a wholesaler. All right, I just broke that down for y'all. Like I said, I want to thank y'all for all the support. The channel's growing. If you got any questions or video recommendations, I am now taking video recommendations. Leave it down below in the comment section. This game is sweet. It's bitter and sweet, meaning you got to get your hands dirty to make this money, get this passive income, but it's definitely attainable. All right. So I want to thank y'all again. This is the GNC show, when we are out of here. Peace.